It's lunchtime and the Brooklyn Cafe is open for business. Live from the Amp Media Studios, Dawn and Freddie S. and their team are ready to serve up a huge portion of fun for lunch with friends and neighbors. So let's break open that lunch pail and unwrap that sandwich you brought and take a front row seat in the Brooklyn Cafe and get ready to enjoy some humor and hot topics. It's time to get a healthy serving of hope and happiness to help your day go by with a smile. Your hosts, Dawn and Freddie S., are ready to talk about food, health, dating, or just plain dream making. If you have a story to share, movie review, restaurant critique, or just a coincidental thing that happened to you, call in toll free 888-994-4995, Studio A right now. Sit back and enjoy your lunch break at the Brooklyn Cafe. Here are your hosts, Dawn and Freddie S.
Sunshine in my eyes. Had a million reasons, but I chose to rise. Every little setback made me stronger than before. And now I'm standing taller, reaching for something more. People talking loud, saying what I can't do, but I hear a different voice and it's leading me through. Got a fire in my heart, got a dream in my soul, and I'm not slowing down till I reach my goal. No more fear, no more doubt. I'm letting all my light shine out. Every step, every move, I'm living proof that dreams come true. Believe in yourself, let your spirit fly. Put your hands up high, touch the open sky. Good vibes, only let the whole world see the power you've been holding deep inside of me. Believe in yourself, don't let go tonight. You were born to shine, you were made to ignite. Good vibes flowing everywhere we go. When you believe in yourself, that's when your magic shows. That's when you're mad. I remember all the nights when the road felt long. Now I'm dancing to the struggle and my favorite song. Every scar tells a story, every tear became gold. Every chapter of my life made me brave and bold. I don't need permission, I don't need a sign. The strength I've been searching for was mine all the time. Got my head in the clouds, got my feet on the ground, and I'm turning every whisper into a louder sound. Feel the rhythm in your heart tonight. Let it carry you into the light. No limits, no chains, no walls to break through. The greatest thing you'll ever be is the real you. Believe in yourself, let your spirit fly. Put your hands up high, touch the open sky. Good vibes, only let the whole world see the power you've been holding deep inside of me. Believe in yourself, don't let go tonight. You were born to shine, you were made to ignite. Good vibes flowing everywhere we go. When you believe in yourself, that's when your magic shows. That's when your magic shows. Good vibes, good life. Keep your head held high. Good vibes, good life. Keep your head held high. Believe in yourself and watch your dreams come alive. Believe in yourself and let your magic show.
Yeah, but you got to say it so I can hear it.
Wow,
What happened to the open?
they played it first.
Oh, that's not.
Turned it down. It was just really loud on the speakers.
Yes, yeah, but he's supposed to play the music for anyway.
Okay.
Welcome.
Anyway.
Oh boy, I'm gonna tell you.
Anyway, happy hump day to you. I think.
I'm completely off. Completely off now.
It's National Friendlies Day. It's National Hump Day. Happy Wednesday, everyone. Believe in yourself. It's all good. We're catching up.
I don't know what's going on.
We had to go get an extra booster seat out of the chair, out of the car.
Booster seat. I see. We got boosters going on.
Because when you elevated Dana, we now have to elevate Anne Marie.
I need a high chair.
Now, you notice they're both mine, so don't feel bad. We share.
I didn't think about that. If mine's high, tonight. You're gonna
Exactly.
You put Dana in a booster?
Dana
I had a
wanted,
booster. I feel all like my arms are like this. Like
Dana wanted a booster, but then she went up, and then Anne Marie kind of went here. So Anne Marie's like this little fairy, so we have to like, bring Anne Marie up a little bit.
now goes on the throne.
So you know what? Hold on. Let's start all over again. You ready?
10.
Welcome to the Midday Show. And now I think I know what I'm doing. I had no idea that he was
All
going
right,
to come over that
regrouping,
fast.
breathe is back to basics.
I want to start out by saying congratulations and happy birthday to Dana,
Happy birthday, Dana.
which we have to sort of get together and when we catch up, Burmese, say happy birthday to her. I want to say also it was a great meeting we had today with
It was Kindness Matters.
Kindness Matters this morning, which was really, it was inspiring. It opened my eyes to certain things that are going around us
did, right?
now. It did. It did. I still think that we're the best at what we do now more than ever. And here we go. It's about to enter a new era. I may even read.
You read a what?
Read.
Might even read.
I may even start reading Dana's stuff.
You
Holy
should.
crap.
I think I am.
You should.
Can we
But
start?
this morning we had our first ambassadorship training with Kindness Matters 365. And if you're wondering what that is, check it out. It's km365.org. It is a fantastic foundation organization that really works about kindness towards other. And it's not just about being nice. It's about intrinsically stepping into your authenticity and saying, once is like that oxygen mask, and then you can give to others, because everyone has triggers, and we all know what they are. The one I didn't realize, there's fight, flight, and freeze. I never knew about the freeze, but I live in freeze. Because I can't run, right? You're in the middle of business, you're in the middle of doing things, you can't run out the door even though you might want to. But your heart goes like this, and then I call Anne Marie and the angels, and they had to take care of that. So I'm always in this state of freeze, and there's a smile on my face, and you're doing what you do, but you realize your nervous system is totally freaking out and totally out of whack, and there's a name for that. And I realized, and I'm so proud of our crew for showing up at 9:30 this morning, because everyone's on different schedules, and not everyone comes on Wednesdays. I tried to pick a day where most of them would come, and they all showed up. And I'm so proud of them, but like you said, to look around the room and watch what they are absorbing and then what we were absorbing. All different things, because everyone's got different layers of life going on, right? There's work, there's school, there's internship, there's family, there's dogs, there's moving, plus all the external stressors in life. And I hope that they got something out of it. I got more out of it than I had anticipated.
Well, she said to me before she left, this was different, because I think that what goes on in here is a little bit different than what she does this in other places. You know, everybody's like talking about changing and how do we get better and everything else, but she understands the complexities in here, and it's multi-dimensional. Everybody in here carries a different weight, a different outlook, a different expression. The one that got to me today was Gato, telling how he felt. That was it. It's intense. If you're in here long enough, you begin to see how intense it really is.
But to see how they've broadened their Kindness Matters platform, because at first they've only been going to schools and working with students about being kind to each other and sharing and meditating and coming down and finding your focus and all the things that kids need. But now they've started going into businesses, and I'm glad that we're one of the first businesses they're working with, because we have students in here. So we kind of merged the two platforms and all the tools and techniques. So they're going to be partnering with us. They're going to be on the show once a month, either remotely, in person, sending segments, whatever it is, to continue the growth of Kindness Matters. But to see how Studio A right now is responding is
Well, it's like
unbelievable.
Dana always says, you got to be kind and nice to yourself before you're kind and nice to anybody else, because who
But
else is going to take you
sometimes
serious?
it's hard. You know,
It's hard, but you gotta do it.
intellectually, you know you want to be kind to yourself, and you know that's the outside noise.
Self-critique is
But
numero
how does your
uno.
body actually regulate it? Is
You
what's
ever
hard.
notice how in here they do something good and they walk around still moping? They could have done better and yada,
Because
yada, yada.
1 + 1 is...
5.
Because why do we always remember the one negative thing that happens in life instead of the 99 positive things that your life is surrounded by? So
That's
I'm
true.
hoping it was like an awakening for a lot of us.
Well, we're going to find out. And that's why I like that they come back and they do the refresher. You know, it's funny. You can say you're great, but unless you remember it over and over again, you're not going to believe it, no matter if you say it just once.
The outside noise. When we get into today's show, I was listening to an audiobook yesterday talking about the power of words. And the other day I was talking, Wendy was here on Monday on the show, and we said the word spelling. What a spelling really
Means?
means.
Spelling? Like we're spelling a word?
Uh-huh.
Or just spelling
Think
life?
of the word, like think for a moment.
I was
pause.
horrible speller. It just gives me cringes.
Pause and just say the word spelling to yourself
Okay.
and what it means.
It means my childhood trying to understand how to spell yellow.
I try.
It was horrible. That is a dark experience. The word spelling, to me, I think of the bees that attack you.
It's like the power of a word.
No,
and
it's
what
the
that-
power
it's
of
the
scariness.
verbalization of casting a.
I'm gonna give you
He
a real.
doesn't agree, I
I'm gonna
guess.
give you a real quick meaning, real quick,
Okay.
real fast, because English is your first language.
Yes.
Got your PhDs, your masters. You have
of it,
intelligence.
yeah.
Okay. For me, English was a nightmare. I tried to be the best student in the world, and I could not communicate. They brought in my parents, and then they said, "Oh boy, they don't even speak English." And I know where his problems come from. That's why I used to go to summer school voluntarily. Voluntarily, I went to summer school to learn how to speak proper English. And I don't speak proper English. My English is bigger Bronx than anybody in here, right? But there's a reason. See, language intimidates me. It scares me because I was never good at it. So when you say spelling, you're bringing up a lot of past.
Sorry,
a lot of
trigger
past.
you. I'm not trying to trigger you.
Hey, but that's what it is. But I have to face it. You know, that's why I always have fun with the English language. And some of the kids in here, they get in my case for saying some of the things I do. But back in the day, I didn't say nothing because I didn't know how to. Now today, I'm liberated. And I'm going to let you hear it one way or the other. You're going to love me or you're going to love me more. That's it.
But
There
you
ain't
know
no
how I always
choices.
say to you, I'm very careful in the words that I speak.
Yeah, I know. I'm
Because
not.
when I speak them, I know that the power of the word, you have to be specific. And then when you was talking about spelling, your words are like a verbal spell that you pass out
Yes,
there.
absolutely.
So it can be good, it cannot be good, it can be white, it can be black, whatever you consider it. But it's the verbal spell of what you're putting out there.
I
The words
understand
have
the
power.
delivery of it. It's funny when we go to meetings and she does this whole thing, and they ask me to speak next. I go, whatever she said. That's me.
I'm with her.
Because I'm
Me
not
too,
gonna,
yeah.
I'm not gonna challenge that. Now I've done speeches like at Gio's wedding. I don't know where it came from, but I put a speech together, and then Gio's father-in-law, he says to everybody, I can't follow that. So I have my moments.
You're very good with speaking.
Nah, not really. Not really. That's all a defense mechanism. But I've learned that it's okay not to be okay. I've learned from people like Dana and Wendy, the things that they do in here, it's okay. Because I gotta accept me. Because I can't expect anybody else to accept me if I don't accept me. So I don't think I'm that bad. That's okay. We just roll. Yeah, we just
you're
roll
pretty
along.
Okay.
Just me and my broken English. Mama, you will be so proud of me. Now I can spell yellow.
They're very proud of you. And we have a new name for Sierra over there,
That's right, the wild desert.
Sahara.
No, I can't remember that.
Oh, we thought you could get that one.
No, it's the desert, the sandstorm. Sandstorm. Sandstorm is what
sandstorm?
we're going to call you.
All right, there you go.
Because you're part of that whole
Sandstorm.
enchilada thing.
Sandstorm
Yeah,
it is.
And you got George over there.
All right, so
Henry. Who is it?
Henry.
Henry? How you doing, Henry? I swear to God, she came in looking like that. I thought there was a guy in here. And I'm saying, excuse me, sir. Sir, and she's not paying attention to me
Or
because
E.T. from the back.
she has a hoodie on. How you doing?
You know how E.T. they had the hoodie on to camouflage E.T.? That. And that's what Dana
They
said.
call me Eminem.
Eminem. It really could be
with
anything.
peanuts or no peanuts?
Oh my gosh. It could be anything. All right, so we've got Dana Sardano here. It is her birthday. We've got Wendy. We've got Anne Marie. The angels are all, they're all in alignment. They're all just waiting
What
to
are we
come
What are we
forward.
talking about today?
I got a little thing I want to talk about impact today, and then just then whatever, then do what you do.
Impact. Do
You're
what we
gonna
do.
You're gonna do impact.
Yeah.
I want to bring up how if something's telling me that. I want to go back to when you were younger,
Okay.
and how you've changed,
Okay.
and why.
Okay. Actually, what I want to share today reflects my youth. So if you're down with that, we can go from there.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, that unpacks a whole lot of stuff we got to unpack on it. We bring up childhood stuff.
Oh God, no. She gave me the look. I'm gonna be in the other room.
stuff. Oh my gosh. So here's my childhood stuff. Tomorrow is my parents' anniversary, and it's the first year of their anniversary that my dad is not here. It's also my in-laws' anniversary, and I guess based on Wendy's agape mouth at the other side of the studio, it must be her anniversary as well. Happy anniversary.
Thank you, thank you. Wow, that's wild.
So the text is going around because I wanted to send my mom something just as a happy memory and for things. So my sister's like, oh, okay, we're going to do that. So she sends it. I said, it's tomorrow. Then I get a text back. No, it's today. No, it's tomorrow. How do they remember? Because I was born 9 months in a day after my parents' wedding. So the joke is, back to my childhood.
What's the joke?
The joke is, pregnancy is never 9 months in a day.
Well, it never is.
Exactly.
Could be 10
Except
months.
in my case. So there is a reason I'm here 9 months in a day, so it is tomorrow. So back
And
to
you're the
childhood
oldest, right?
traumas. Yes.
You're the first?
Yes. Back to all those childhood things that we can all, look at Emery's face, she's like, that explains it. It explains a lot. So happy early anniversary to all the June 25th anniversaries. Yeah. I guess it was a powerful day somewhere in the universe. All different years, obviously.
Yeah, 27 years for me.
Wow, happy anniversary to you.
Anniversary.
My condolences to all of
Thank
you.
very much.
And my parents would have been 60.
I know.
And my in-laws will be 65. Your parents were married, what, like 80 years? No, not
April
that long.
19th was there. They were married 66 years, so now it would be 70. It would have been 77 years.
Isn't that amazing?
66 years, and they never had a fight.
Never.
Never had
Your
a
dad
fight.
went, huh, what?
And Dad says, you know the secret to a long marriage? And I said, no, Dad, what is it? He says, huh?
And maybe if you get married, you speak different languages. That kind of works also.
Well, my mother was very ill when she was young. So my mother caught an asthma attack at work. It's in the school system. And he had to go pick her up at the hospital. And he says, you will never work again. And they were married maybe a year.
Wow.
And then 66 years later, she never worked. He said, don't worry about it. She had a bad asthma. Bad asthma.
So we're going to talk to Dana and the ladies on the other side of the studio. But first, I want to invite you all. This Friday, we are celebrating 10 years of the Brooklyn Cafe Show. So we're doing a little bit different this year. We're going to the beach. And the crew is asking, yes, beach attire. It's not a work day. It is just a celebratory day to thank all of you, our viewers, our listeners, our crew, our partnerships, our sponsors, anyone who wants to come join us just for a day at the beach. Yes, bathing suits, shorts, whatever you want. We'll bring some food, have some fun. And we do have a big pavilion because I know it's like 100 degrees outside and I wouldn't put everyone in that heat. But there's a big pavilion, there's electric, there's bathrooms, there's even a shower. If you want to just chill and not be poolside, beachside, sunside, you can sit undercover. And Freddie will probably be undercover. I might be undercover. You want to go swimming? Go swimming. Just have some fun, an early weekend, and start Friday off right.
And Shelly, you can come and just hang out. You don't have to bring any gear. We're not singing. We're not doing none of that. We're just hanging loose. Nothing major. Don't bring anything.
If you want to know what beach we're going to go to, no, I'm kidding. It's going to be at South Inlet Park. We can put the flyer up. You can check our socials, but come on out. We said 11 to 2. Come as long as you want, stay as late as you want. We actually have the pavilion until sunset, which is pretty cool. That's, I always think, the best time to be at the beach.
Sunset?
Sunset.
When the mosquitoes are out.
I'm going to actually look into getting some mosquito repellent
Oh,
for myself.
boy.
But it'll be fun, I think. All right, we're going to take a commercial break. More to come. Impact. Dana Sardano on her birthday and the Woos. And we'll be right back.
Discover Rosie's Garden. The collection draws inspiration from the beautiful niece of the founder, Rosie, who brought joy to many before passing too soon. Her beauty and spirit are reflected in every piece. Founded by two friends, Rosie's Garden is a female-owned brand passionate about creating stunning, elegant jewelry that embodies the concept of bellissima, the Italian word for beautiful. With a philosophy rooted in grace and elegance, the brand crafts each piece of jewelry using only the finest materials, including 18-karat gold and the highest quality craftsmanship, ensuring that every piece is a true work of art.
Greatness isn't something you chase, it's cultivated. The Ubuntu Girl's Guide to Greatness, written by Dana Sardano, is rooted in self-dedication, personal growth, and simply living in greatness. Inside, you'll find empowering prompts, hot tips, and space to journal your reflections. Featuring vibrant artwork by Dana Sardano, this is more than a book. It's a visual celebration of feminine power in all its forms. Bold, colorful, and unapologetically authentic. Ready to be great? Grab the Ubuntu Girls Guide to Greatness at ubuntufishgallery.com. Also available as a beautifully designed deck of cards to bring greatness wherever you go.
This is AMP2 TV Network, powered by the AMP Media Future Foundation. AMP2 is an award-winning production company. Here we produce any media your heart desires. We produce films that make people emotional. We make the audience engaged. We're innovative, eye-catching, unforgettable. Amplify your idea. Here at AMP2 TV.
You're listening to the Midday Brooklyn Cafe Show with Dawn and Freddie S. Every weekday from 12 to 2, tune in for the ultimate midday escape. The perfect blend of entertainment, culture, and community, all served up with a side of Brooklyn flair. It's the South Florida show that everyone's talking about.
You've been watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
On June 24th, 1812, Napoleon Bonaparte led his Grande Armée of more than 500,000 troops into Russia, beginning one of history's most famous military campaigns. On June 24th, 1948, the Berlin blockade began when the Soviet Union cut off all road and railroad access to West Berlin, triggering a major Cold War confrontation that was countered by the Western Allies through the historic Berlin Air Flight. On June 24th, 1973, a fire killed 32 people and injured at least 15 at the Upstairs Lounge in New Orleans, making it the deadliest known attack on a gay club in U.S. history at the time. On June 24th, 1981, the James Bond film For Your Eyes Only premiered in London, starring Roger Moore as 007.
And we're back to our midday show. We've split sets a little bit, and Freddie is on the other side of the theater talking with the Woo crew. Wait to see, actually, Jamie, one of our interns, producers, she's put a whole animated version of the three of the ladies over there. So we're going to show you Wendy, Dana, and Anne-Marie. We're talking to Coding the Woo, but I think Dana, on her birthday, she's going to talk about impact on this segment. So let's take it over to Freddie, kicking it over to you, or Dana. All right, what are we talking about? Impact of?
Impact. Let me do do we going to do a thing?
We're going to do your thing, but impact of?
Just the impact that we have.
All right. So happy birthday to you.
Well, thank you. It's my birthday.
It's your birthday, and I'm so honored that you're here on your birthday. And Freddie wants to unpack a little bit of some childhood trauma, so let's roll Dana's intro.
This segment has been sponsored by the Ubuntu Room. Come join Dana Sardano as she offers life-changing advice that will affect the spiritual, emotional, and physical aspects of your being. Within her easily available writings, you will find the solution you need for your problems. Tune in to the Ubuntu Room on the Brooklyn Cafe Show.
Hi, my name is Dana Sardano, and this is the Ubuntu Room. I am so glad you're here. Thank you for joining me. So for those of you who are new to who I am and what I do, the Ubuntu Room is a place where we talk all things personal empowerment and all things spiritual development. And over the last several weeks during book club and even before that, we focus very much on the personal empowerment because I feel once we have the foundation, we can expand from there. So coming up in the upcoming weeks, starting next Wednesday, we're going to focus on the spiritual development with Beyond the 10 Decoding the Woo Woo Book Club. So get your book and join us. But I want to take a little hiatus between that and tell you a little story. So today is my 55th birthday, my birthday. Today is my birthday, but it's not just my birthday. Today is, it's a special anniversary for me. Today is the 30-year anniversary of my being diagnosed and hospitalized for thyroid cancer. So about a couple of weeks before my 25th birthday, I had gone to the doctor. And I'd only gone to the doctor because for the first time in my young adult life, I had medical insurance. And I worked with a woman who I considered a hypochondriac. So, you gotta go to a doctor, you gotta get yourself checked out. And I was super feral, but I went. So I go to the doctor and they did the typical physical stuff, you know, like the kicky thing with the knee and they look in your ear and all of the things. And then she put her hand on my throat and she told me to swallow. And when I did, I saw the concern in her eyes. And it just quickly escalated. It went from the swallow to the blood work to the biopsy to waking up on my 25th birthday, having had a full thyroidectomy. They took my entire thyroid and they took 2 of my parathyroids, which regulate your calcium. And because they had difficulty with that, it got a little complicated and there was some like seizure-like behavior. And what should have been a 3-day stint in the hospital was pretty much close to a week. But here's what was kind of cool. I didn't have a roommate. I had like the 2-people room. I didn't have a roommate, at least for the first 3 days. And because it was my birthday, it was very celebratory. Like my friends were there and like there was cake and balloons and there was, you know, all sorts of stuffed animals and gifts. I had like these chicken soup for the soul books that were gifted to me. And it had this air of joy, even though I had just had surgery for cancer. So anyway, so this went on, and also because of my clownery. Again, I'm 25 years old. Imagine all this, even with fewer inhibitions as a 25-year-old. And I mean, it was just silliness. I remember once, you know, that little paper dress they give you, or however they you dress. I had my IV, and I pretend like I was like escaping to like to the elevators, and the nurses had to come yell at me. Like it was like that. Even my mother made an appearance, and I don't know if you've heard, but my relationship with my mother was a little tenuous, and even she showed up and we had some quality time during this time. So it was, even though it was a pretty serious situation, it was a good time. Again, I don't think I knew any better. I don't think I knew to have fear. So a few days into my stay, I had a roommate show up. So now I'm sharing the room with another person. And when this woman showed up, she showed up with her husband and she showed up with her daughter, who was maybe around 11. And the feeling of their situation was very, very somber. It was much, much different than what I was experiencing on my side of the room. And it was sad even. So, you know, now I have my roommate, and she was cool enough. Like when everybody left, you know, like when our families left, you know, we exchanged pleasantries. Like we got familiar with each other. We weren't best friends, but we had conversation, and it was cool. And I was giving her cake, and I was like, you know, sharing my books with her and stuff like that, and making friends, you know, as friendly as you're going to be. So ultimately, when it was time for me to go, I was packing up my things and I was giving her flowers. I was putting my flowers on her side of the room. I'm like, I'm not taking them with me, just have them. And I gave her one of my books. And like I said, I was sharing and again, creating a friendship with this stranger. So the day I was leaving and I was packing up, she says, come here, I want to talk to you. She says, sit down. And she asked me to sit down next to her bed. And then she takes my hand. She looks at me in the eyes and she says, I have to tell you something. She said, about 5 years ago, my husband was diagnosed with cancer, and he was on this floor, and he passed. Now, meanwhile, again, 25, I'm in this place of, just kind of living in the moment. I didn't even realize I was on a cancer floor, and it makes sense why everybody was so serious. But she was like, he died on this floor, or he was on this floor and he passed. She's like, that man that you saw me with, that's my current husband. He's not the father of my daughter. So when I was diagnosed and I was looking at my experience, it was very, very difficult. I had to relive the experience that I had with my husband. My daughter had to relive losing her father. My current husband had to keep it all together. We came in here, it was very, very somber. And then I look over and I see you. And I see the experience you're having and how you were able to find the joy in this. And you were able to not get lost in the fear and worry of what's next. And I was listening to her, and I was so taken with her experience with me, because again, I was just being who I was. And she's like, thank you. She said, you've given me hope. And we had this moment. We said our goodbyes, and then I left and went on with my life. And that experience, 30 years later, always sticks with me. And it especially sticks with me when I'm feeling insignificant. You guys at this point all see what I do. I write the books, I do the videos, I say my stuff, and a lot, all my social media, and I hear crickets. It often feels like it falls on deaf ears. But then I'm reminded by this experience and the impact I had just by being the human that I am. So I share this story, because it's my birthday, and I share this story because I want to remind everybody that we all have impact. Whether we're trying or not, our impact is just in being who we are. So with that said, I hope to see you next week, Decoding the Woo-Woo, a book club. And as always, thank you for listening, and Ubuntu.
I don't think people realize the impact that not only others have on us, but that we have on others. And it can be as simple as just being yourself. It can be as simple as offering somebody food or water for somebody that walked in yesterday. And I wasn't sure what that was going to look like, but Freddie had it under control, and he said, come in just for some from AC. It's hot outside. You don't realize the impact, the positive and negative that words have and that actions have. And I think that goes back to what we had in the studio this morning, was it's more than just kindness. It's being authentically who you are towards others. And you probably had no idea at that age of the impact that you would have on these people. Just doing your birthday thing, but you did it. So congratulations on being cancer-free for 30 years. And this milestone birthday, 5'5", it's a big birthday.
Yes. Yeah. You know, what you were saying when I walked in and I was asking you about the Kindness Matters, and you were saying that it was a lot of like introspection and seeing what triggers you. You know, the one thing that I always understood, or at least understood in my adult life, is there's a difference between being nice and being kind. You know what I mean? So people are used to being nice, and that doesn't come from an authentic place. You be nice, but to be kind means that you have gotten yourself to a place of your own sovereignty, that you're able to be kind because it comes from an authentic place. You know what I mean? So it's important.
It is. And then I think people misconstrue sometimes kindness and niceness for, I hate to say this, for stupidity, for lack of awareness, for weakness. Whatever it is. Why do you think, Wendy, that is?
Because I think that with the programming that there has been so far, we're looking at that. It's like Dana says, you really don't stop to think about your impact in these things, because we are programmed to look in a different direction. And what we're trying to do is kind of like when I think about how we have the camera set up and how we have to change the angle and that kind of thing. It's the same thing with our attention. So if you become aware that you've been looking this way, these conversations help us kind of like, all right, let me redirect my camera and where my focus and my attention is at.
But we can do all of that because we're in a studio setting, right? We're in the perfect world. We're in the
control set.
Right, we're in the Jim Carrey world of everything's perfect in this studio, and then you go to the outside world, and it's like, vroom, life happens. So how do we continue to make a positive impact?
Well, if you're asking me, it's really about the self-awareness and the working on yourself to a point that you can live authentically without the fear of what people would say, without the old yuckies that we stuff down. Like when you really clear yourself out and become the most aligned. I use the word aligned a lot, but when I say that, I mean all of the things that create fears and insecurities and give our agenda comes from a place of fear. There's no other way to say it. When we alleviate that and we become solid, things can't shake you. Just last week I had some stuff shake me and we talked about it, and for like a day or two I was like and then we put it to rest. 10 years ago it would have been 6 months. 5 years ago, it would have been 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And now it's like 24 hours and we put it to rest. When people learn how to regulate their emotions and regulate their nervous systems and come from a solid place, and we all bring that to the world, then nothing can shake you, or at least not for very long.
And it's one step at a time. You say it all the time. How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. So how do you begin a journey? With the first step. So if you become aware that you are looking at life through this other lens, invite yourself to start. This is what the whole thing about drinking the tea and all of these things is, taking a step and looking at it. Just take 5. It's not about beating yourself up. It's the awareness of, oh, maybe this isn't so empowered. Let me adjust that. Maybe the self-talk, like we were discussing. How do you speak to yourself? And look at that. Would you speak to somebody else that way? If you can't see yourself saying that to a brother or sister or somebody you really love, then why are you saying it to yourself? And make the adjustment little by little. We're not trying to say you're going to change things that you've been doing for 40 years over a day, but at least if you put one foot in front of the other, before you know it, you look back in a year later or 6 months later, you're saying, oh my gosh, I don't feel that angst. I'm not stuck in freeze anymore.
Yeah.
When I got to coach Freddie, my older, and then Gio 5 years later, because they're 5 years behind, I learned that my first year of coaching kids, I was a failure in my approach, not in myself, but in my approach. And then I went on to coach for 20 years, and I learned that it all begins with me expressing to them, let me see what you got, not condemning them, changing their frame of thought about themselves, which they took home. And then I used to have the parents come and see me because they had to change, because they were sending the wrong message. And these kids, they will go through walls for their parents. And I got to experience 20 years of what you talk about what you're talking about today. You were an educator. You gave so much of you to that outside world. You still do it.
Yes.
This is your DNA. And I came to the conclusion my DNA was to teach others to be better, because I believed in me enough to do that. And I think that what you're saying today is such a lesson, because it really doesn't matter where you start the race. It matters how you end the race. So happy birthday again.
Thanks.
And you've given so much of you to so many people around you that sometimes you can't see just how deep it goes until you sit back one day, you're having a glass of wine or water or whatever, and then you see it and you go, wow.
There it is.
There it is.
1,000%.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Impactful.
Yay.
That's what it's all about, ain't it?
Absolutely. Isn't that what we're here for? Not everybody, but I feel like we are here to turn on the heart lights. And when you find your crew and you can do it as strength in numbers, it's a wonderful blessing for myself, for each of us, and we all level up. But it's a nice it's a nice group because now you feel more empowered. You don't feel like you're going at it alone.
But I had a question for you. When you were a teacher, and you surrounded yourself, you there for what, 20 years?
25 in total, from start to finish. Yeah.
Every teacher that you associated with, every teacher in the school that you were friends with, did you think that they all were like you?
No. It was no.
Are you sure?
No.
And they didn't throw you off.
No, it was challenging. And let me tell you something. It was my first handful of years, I think 5 to 7 years, I was not in parochial school. So I taught special ed, and I taught the kids with behavioral issues. So I was already kind of like the maverick. Like I was in the portables. I was even had a certification called aggression control techniques, because we were with the at the time it was SED, severely emotionally disturbed. If they became a danger, we had to take them down, and we had like a timeout room. Like it was like that my first few years. So I was already kind of like, again, the maverick. And then when I went to the parochial school, I had a little bit more clout. I was a learning specialist at this point. I was teaching teachers how to work with kids with different learning styles. But I was still young. I was like 30. And then that evolved into the director of student development. So for those last, do the math, 15 or so years, 16 years, that's what I was doing. But the teachers I was so different in how I saw it. I saw teaching children the way I do this is just with subject matter, But I saw the child. I saw what they needed. I was able to see each kid individually. I could have a class full of 20 and know what each of the needs were, who to hold accountable and how, to what degree. And the other teachers, many of them, most of them, I would venture to say probably all of them, there was a script on how you teach a class, and it was frustrating because part of my job was to educate the teachers to help them with the kids with the different learning styles. And I also wore the hat of discipline. I was like the dean of students. So now I'm getting all the kids coming to my office because the teacher is not seeing the child in a way that would help them thrive. So it was like this constant, like I was putting out other people's fires. So my vehement no is the frustration that I had in all those years that I was there to try to help the teacher, the people in charge, see it in a way that would help the children thrive.
Not easy.
It's not easy at all.
And the teachers didn't respond. My sister was like that, and she worked for 40 years in the Board of Ed, And she says and she became a head director, and she changed the program also. And it was hard because you have to hang in there. And when you got 20 teachers telling you you're wrong, that's not the way to do it. You got to be disciplined and all that. And they're not listening. It's hard. But look at you. Look at the outcome of it.
I ran out of there on fire. Look at me now.
you ran out of the school system, but you're still teaching.
Yeah,
except
because
your classroom.
it's in my DNA, like you said.
That's right. Your classroom is a lot bigger now. That's the difference. You got a bigger classroom.
Yeah. And people are learning that you're not even aware of that they're listening and expanding because of what we're all saying, what you're saying here.
Yeah, well, and that's the impact.
Yes.
That's it, and that's the reminder. That's why I shared this story, because I often, not so much, I'm not like, at home rocking myself to sleep, but every once in a while I have to remind myself we're all impactful. Sometimes it's not a positive impact. So we have to decide, how do we want to impact those around us? And again, it all comes back to who we are as the human, and that's the impact that we create. My jovial, authentic nature at the time created a positive impact. I've been angry and aggressive, it hasn't always been pretty, what I mean? And I think about the impact that I created as a result of that. And I think it was either Decoding the Woo or 10 Rex, I don't remember. I talked about how we tell our stories and how I have this image of who I am and how I present. But if you asked an ex-boyfriend from 2004, he'd have a completely different story of who I am. So that snapshot of who I was in 2004 is not an accurate representation of who I am, but it's how I impacted a human then. So we have to be very mindful of who we are and how we impact the world. Our children, our loved ones, our friends.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But that goes what I was saying. We're celebrating 10 years of doing what we do. And it was you and your daughter that came up with this idea 8 years ago, or 9 years ago.
Out of necessity, right?
I don't know. I have no idea of why you did it. I just went along with it. I didn't understand it. I saw some kids running around and they were putting stuff out and they had different camera angles. I mean, you see Gato running around here trying to better the shot and everything else. I never understood why, but I was smart enough to say there's a reason why. And if I don't know the reason today, I'll know it tomorrow. Here we are 10 years later, still doing it. It's turned into a whole 501c3, which if you were to ask me 10 years ago, I never saw this coming. And there it is. So your fingerprint is part of our blueprint, just going backwards, which is an amazing, you sit in my seat and you just get a thing of popcorn and you watch this for the last 10 years. This is an amazing ride.
It is.
Yeah, it is.
Nobody would believe the stories that come out of here. They don't even believe some of the stories we've been through.
Not that I forget, but I forget until you put the latest music video together with the pictures.
Oh my
and some
I
of our
make
original
sure you
crew.
didn't forget, okay? Because all those pictures happen, and there's more.
I know.
I got over since 2012 pictures.
Wow.
To put up there, and iHeart and everything else. I just want you to remember, because sometimes no matter how confident you are, you run into a pebbled road, and you say, "Man, am I making a difference?
Oh my goodness.
Am I doing things the right way? Is there a tomorrow that takes me to continue this fight?" Because every day you fight so people can understand where you're coming from. So I just want to make sure you didn't lose track of that.
But a lot of it is the stories that we're told from childhood, that people pleasing, whether it's parents or teachers or religious organizations, your pastor, all the things that you put in this box of the good and what you're supposed to do through life. But if that's not authentically who you are, you're trying to always show up for your parents until you meet a rebel like Dana or Wendy. And how far can you rebel?
I was not a rebel, honey.
I never rebelled, but my
I
sister
never did at home. I was too afraid to do it.
Yeah, but you were a rebel in your own ways.
Yes.
Because you were different. And
Yes.
anytime you're different, society is going to put you down as a rebel.
I agree with that. I agree with that.
But that, I used to tell my kids, if you want to bunt or run a home, or you want to do something out of the norm, I'm okay with it, because it shows you're in the game. And when you're different, it's okay, because it shows you're in the game. And you're just looking for an angle for people to understand where you're coming from.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. It's hard when you're kids, though, or when you're younger, because you're still figuring out who you are, and you don't want to be different than the others.
Yeah.
Like I see my daughters. My daughters are pretty different. Not obviously different, but when you talk to them, they're pretty different. And you want to fit in as a teenager. But when you get a little older and you start to really embrace who you are, that's when the differences really show out in the world. It's kind of cool.
Yeah.
It's funny, when I was growing up, I was different from all my cousins. And you gotta remember, I got 14 uncles and aunts on both sides of my family.
Wow.
I had a ton of cousins. And I used to say to my mom, Mom, you're making me out to be something different. And she used to tell me, you're not different. They just gotta catch up. You just be you. And I grew up with that mentality. And so it used to bother me, especially when I went to NYU. I was the only one among my peers that was going to that school. And I was walking around with the New York Times, and they were looking at the comic books and the daily news. I'm gonna tell you, man, it was a trip trying to understand and still fit in. But then I had to shed that, because how do you move on in life? If they don't want to, that's fine for them. They're great people. We just had different end games that we wanted to do.
I'm so glad you said that, Freddie, because and these two can attest to this, only in the last year or so am I totally cool with where I am. But prior to that, maybe like the 5 years prior, I was frustrated because I'm being who I am, I'm delivering what I have to deliver, and again, crickets everywhere.
Yeah.
And you start to question, like, what the hell is wrong with me? But you believe in who you are and what you're delivering. And only now in the last year am I able to like really sit and be like, oh, just keep doing what you're doing. They will catch up. And if they don't, they don't. But they will begin, and I'm starting to see whoever they are beginning to catch up little by little, and it puts a little bit more wind in the sails. So what you're saying, now that I'm thinking of it, because you wanted to talk about my youth, when I was a kid, it always felt that way, but I thought that there was always something wrong with me. I didn't have a mother that was like, oh, they just need to catch up. It was really more of, this is what's wrong with you and why. So it was hard to get past that, but I always felt different than everybody else.
But you are different. And if you don't know how different, check it out Thursday night when she does her radio show, and you are different.
Yeah.
You know, and sometimes it takes a couple of laps around the track to understand the speed of what's going on, because you come in a lot of different flavors. And sometimes you come with one idea and it's so fresh, you have to sit back and go, what just happened? And this happened on Monday when you did your thing. And I'm sitting there going, what just happened? You know, it's funny because I'm a big basketball fan, and the Knicks did this crazy thing.
Oh, they won?
They won.
Did they?
But they were down by 30 points, and they won a game that I gave up on. And everybody was in shock. Like, what just happened? and I listen to your program now on the radio when I'm on my way home, and sometimes I sit there and I go, what just happened? What's going on? Because it's so new. And the idea of it being new isn't bad. It's just different. The approach you're coming with, what you're doing today, is just different. I don't sit around talking. In 10 years, you ever hear the stories about me not fitting in with my peers or my cousins and stuff, and going to my mother and say, I don't do any of that. But I'm no longer afraid to look back at my DNA. But that's what you do.
Yes.
That's what you do. And if you don't understand it, you know what? Come on down.
Yeah.
Come on down and be part of this circle, because the quicker you understand your DNA, the quicker you're going to be happy about yourself. And when that happens, it's going to change your life.
1,000%.
Here, hold this up while you're saying that.
Read. I'm gonna hold it up right here. You gotta read. You know, and I'm not an avid reader because of my language barriers back in the day. So what happens is when I read, I don't retain what the hell I'm reading. My SAT scores would be proof to that. When I went to NYU, they threw my scores out the window. And they talked to me.
So we're not gonna talk about this.
And they said, we want you here because of you. You have no idea of the impact that I went home crying and said, Mom, I made NYU. She says, what? She said, what? I made Columbia, I made MIT, I made Marquette.
Wow.
But my scores were in the toilet. You have no idea of how bad my scores were. But they didn't care about that. They cared about this. See, because my life is here. Everything I went through. Not tough, not easy.
No.
Not easy to admit, but true. So get a hold of your DNA, learn who you are. Start here.
1,000%.
All right, on that note, we're going to take a commercial break. Learn your DNA, as Freddie says. We're starting book club the first week in July, Decoding the Woo-Woo by Dana Sardano. You can find it on Amazon. Get your copy, follow us on book club, and see what impact you too can have on everybody else. More to come on the other side of this commercial break. We got to say hi to Anne Marie. She was very quiet. You know, when I was a kid, I only wanted the perfect ponytail. How silly is that? All the girls had these long, beautiful, flowy ponytails at the top of their head, and mine never looked like that. And that's all I ever wanted, was to fit in with like the perfect ponytail. See, it comes in all layers. Yours was reading, mine, I just wanted the perfect ponytail. Anyway, things that are impactful. You want to fit in when you want to fit in. More to come. We'll be right back.
Our preschool team provides personalized education and therapy services that are specifically designed to meet the unique needs of our children. These students are overcoming medical conditions that have been affecting their physical abilities since birth. Our specialized teacher and therapists understand the critical role that occupational and physical therapy play in helping these young children to develop essential skills in their early education program. We like for the children to leave us as shining stars and enter the big world of kindergarten.
Welcome to La Mesa Cafe Bistro, where every cup has a story. From freshly brewed coffee to comforting, flavorful dishes, it's the perfect place to slow down and savor the moment. Open 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. from Tuesday to Saturday, and 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. on Sunday and Monday. Stop by and taste the difference at 48 Northeast 1st Avenue in Boca Raton.
Looking for great coffee and a place to unwind? Come to Tiki Coffee and Desserts. We serve gourmet coffee made fresh, rich espresso, smooth lattes, and handcrafted specialty drinks made just the way you like them. Pair it with one of our delicious desserts, from creamy cheesecakes to fresh pastries and sweet treats made to satisfy every craving. No matter what you're in the mood for, you can trust that it's been prepared with care and quality ingredients. Enjoy a warm, welcoming atmosphere where our friendly staff make you feel right at home the moment you walk in. Whether you're meeting friends, taking a break, getting some work done, or simply treating yourself, Tiki Coffee and Desserts is the perfect stop. Don't miss out on an irresistible experience you'll want to come back to again and again. Tiki Coffee and Desserts, the hottest new coffee shop in Boca.
At AM2TV, we don't just create content, we produce experiences. From concept to final cut, we bring your vision to life with cinematic quality and precision. Whether it's music videos, branded content, or live productions, we make it stand out. AM2TV, where your vision gets amplified.
You're listening to the Midday Brooklyn Cafe Show with Dawn and Freddie S. Every weekday from 12 to 2, tune in for the ultimate midday escape. The perfect blend of entertainment, culture, and community, all served up with a side of Brooklyn flair. It's the South Florida show that everyone's talking about.
You've been watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
32 years ago, cinema history was made. Walt Disney Animation released a masterpiece that would redefine the industry forever. The Lion King. Released in 1994, this sweeping epic wasn't just a box office smash. It became a global phenomenon. It blends Shakespearean drama with groundbreaking hand-drawn animation and unforgettable characters. From Hans Zimmer's Oscar-winning score to Elton John's timeless melodies, the music captured our hearts. The legacy expanded into a massive Broadway hit, sequels, and a blockbuster reimagining. More than 3 decades later, its lessons about responsibility, grief, and the circle of life still resonate with generations of fans worldwide. Happy 32nd anniversary to the best film in Disney's Renaissance era. National Day of Joy is observed on June 24th and focuses on celebrating happiness, gratitude, and the simple moments that makes life feel meaningful. It encourages people to step away from daily stress and intentionally notices things that brings comfort or joy, even in ordinary routines. The day is often spent doing small but uplifting activities, like spending time with your family and friends, enjoying hobbies, listening to music, or relaxing outdoors. It's not about big events or formal traditions, but about slowing down what is going well in life.
So today is National Joy Day, so please find your joy. And on Monday, it's really funny because Wendy was doing some channeling after Sally's show, and she was like, today you really need to go and find your joy. And then I think of Dana saying, you got to go out and find your joy. So Dana, for your birthday, we went out and we found some joy, and they put this piece together just for you. I think. Happy birthday, Dana. Don't postpone joy.
Happy birthday, Dana. Dana, hope you have a good one.
Happy birthday, Dana. Hope you have a good day.
Happy birthday, Dana. We wish you many, many more happy birthday, and we hope you have nothing but luck throughout the year.
Happy birthday, Dana.
Happy birthday, Dana. Happy birthday, Dana.
Happy birthday, Dana.
Happy birthday, Dana.
Happy birthday, Dana!
Woo! Happy birthday, Dana. 21 all over again. That's what it's all about. Wishing you the best. I hope that today is the best day of your life.
So, happy birthday, Dana, and don't postpone joy. That was a total coincidence, by the way. My mug, I did not know it was National Day of Joy, but it just worked out that way.
Oh, that's so cool.
So this morning, our crew was here really, really early because we had our first ambassadorship training for Kindness Matters 365. And it gave me a new awakening to what we do here in our crew. And I think Freddie mentioned that it gave you a little bit of a new awareness. But I wanted you to hear from our crew the impact that it made of what they do for everybody else. So let's run the intern corner.
Hello, everybody. Welcome. Right now we have me, Andrew, Gordon, and Brianna on the intern corner. So thank you, Dawn, for bringing Kindness Matters to us. Actually, you have my favorite Kindness Matters person next to us, the capybara. Funnily enough, I have the Kindness Matters button on his bow tie.
That is true.
Which is great. But it was very fun to have them around this morning. I don't remember her name. Michelle. I think Michelle was great. We had a really nice presentation. Is there anything you guys took away from it today?
It helps with stress. And they can help you with stress in the workplace.
Yeah, I think she talked about some really important things, like especially nowadays, it's a really chaotic time right now, and it's important to just take a step back and remember you need to be kind to yourself for the most part. And I think that's kind of what I really took away from that. You need to remember to take care of yourself, take care of your mental health, and to just take a moment to breathe sometimes, because it can get a little crazy.
Yeah, and it was very nice. She showed us a couple of techniques to try and help us re-ground ourselves, especially for us. This training was a lot more intensive on us because it's a lot of what we deal with in our career. And especially for a lot of our new college students, being able to know how to handle stress, how to be able to talk to clients, how to be able to take it within yourself, to know when you, or what tools you have in your pocket to try and help you regain that sight of where you're going, is great. She showed us a little glitter tool that'll help you kind of ground yourself by focusing on the glitter, seeing it move, to get those emotions out and process them in the moment. We also had a little ball.
I actually have that ball at home.
Yeah. And then we had the biggest hit was this self-leveling like bird that everyone put on their fingers.
Yes.
It was like a really big hit. But I think our partnership is great. Having that ability for us to be able to, show the new incoming students and people how to deal with that. Like I said, I wish, people would have the toolkit to know what to do instead of learning how to do it through very harsh experience. So having Kindness Matters come out, teaching you how to deal with stress, what you can do, how to adjust your mindset, and actually learning what kindness actually means. She explained what kindness was. Sometimes it's not you not saying anything to someone because you want to be kind. That's not what kindness really is. It's actually being there to help the person. That is what true kindness is. And I thought it was great. I'm excited to see what she brings for the next couple of months that we have her. I told her we're going to have like a rotating cast of people. And I think it's great for our foundation because it just kind of gives us more, it fills us up a lot more.
Did you all go in with any preconceived notions of what it was going to be?
I thought it was going to be more of a, telling us how to treat people with kindness, not with stress.
It changed when after the program. Did it change what you got out of it than what you thought you were going to get out of it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
He's a man of few words.
Yeah.
I think that they were caught back by the approach they took. Like he said, they thought they were going to be taught how to be kinder to people, and what they forgot, and it's the theme of today's show, is you got to be kind to yourself. I mean, how in the world can you be kind to anybody else if you're not kind to yourself? And I think that that's the message. I think they're still in shock, if you were to ask me, because if you looked at their faces, they were like, where's this coming from? They didn't expect that at all.
I was really impressed and so proud of our crew to see different things that resonated with each and every one of them. Sandstorm, she liked the glitter in the jar. Simple techniques, but powerful. Balancing a bird on your finger, the ball, the breathe in and breathe out as the ball expands and contracts. And then to see Brianna ask a question and to see Gordon extend an invitation to come to where he's living. I thought, wow. I had no idea, Freddie, the impact that this was going to make on them. As you say, you go with things and you just watch. I knew it was something that would be important to collaborating with them, but I never saw what came that was coming. So I'm so proud of you guys for showing up and for all of you showing up, but actually getting something out of it instead of just sitting, especially you, Brianna, because you don't say much. Yeah. But you process a lot. Yeah, another one. She processes a lot. I don't realize the stress that they're all under just watching the chaos that goes on in this place. And it's good chaos. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's just business chaos. But they take it all in, and it's countdowns, and it's boards, and changing commercials, and changing elements, and lower thirds, and the things that they do. And I think, you call it freeze? I do stop breathing. I do shallow breathing. If I'm doing it, you must all really be doing it. So I'm really proud of you for saying it and stepping into your power and finding ways to help mitigate it. Like 5 things that you see, 4 things that you hear, all your senses.
Yeah, you touch. And
touch, being present. And then no one even needs to know you're doing it. And then you just regroup after 20 seconds. And then you go at it again.
Yeah, I think it's really helpful because, especially for me, I'm quiet, but it's because I have 1,000,000 thoughts going on in my head at the same time. So it's not quiet. To me, it's not quiet. So methods like those, it kind of quiets me down a little bit inside. So then, because by the end of the day, I'm so burnt out because because my brain is just running a mile a minute. And so doing methods like those and deep breathing and looking at the ball that contracts and expands, those type of methods, they help you. And
10 years ago, we learned a lesson. Listen to the silence. And every time I see Brooklyn, it just reminds me of how much is going on. And she'll look at me because she knows that I'm staring at her, trying to hear the silence. And she'll look. And she gives me that look because she knows. And I see it. Some of them, they don't express how they feel. But you got to listen to it, because if you listen, you'll hear a lot of chatter. And it's there. And sometimes that's the way they speak, is with no words. So.
And what's interesting is when our crew, they run board and they run the production and they listen, the impact that all of our guests have on them and what they're learning. And we found that out back in the beginning when we were at the gallery. I think we had someone talking about eating healthy and weight loss. And they did a whole wellness segment because we did a wellness segment. And they came in and they started eating healthier and losing weight and getting their sugars under control. And then we did a mental health segment on Mondays and how mindset changed. There was none of this stuff that we have now, mental health awareness, as prevalent as now than it was not like that 10 years ago. There was no women empowerment. There was no mental health awareness. It was just, you just kept going. There were nothing for childhood traumas. We had a client and we went, what? How are we going to sell childhood traumas to an audience? It made no sense. Do you remember that gentleman and his wife?
Yes.
We went to their apartment once and we talked about it. And then the shadow work, things that were so esoteric, but 10 years later, things that are so come forward. Someone brought on puppets on the radio. Well, you try describing a black and a white puppet on the radio on iHeart. But now you guys are so in touch with your emotions, and I'm so glad that we could bring something forward and realize that it's all acceptable to accept everyone as who they are and what they do and what they offer. And I hope you all accept each other, which is even more mind-blowing.
And you got to be more sensitive in what you talk about and how you deliver it, which is one of the things that I'm learning from you, is that I'm trying to be more sensitive in the words that I use, because back in the day, you know, we called what we saw, right? Yep. And that it was what it was. Well, they're teaching me you can't do that because it's not the way they're going to learn it. You know, back in the day, my father used to say things just to get me riled up because he wanted to find out whether or not I was listening to his argument. And I am listening to it, and I was getting all angry. That's not the way they teach nowadays. No. And I tell parents all the time, if you think you know your kid, I'm going to tell you right now, you don't know him. You don't know him. What's going on right now is a whole different world of what we grew up with. And you got to be smart, and you got to look for every angle that you can, and you got to let them talk. You know, that quiet, that thing you were saying, you know, seen and not be heard, and whatever, be heard and be.
Children are to be seen and
Can't,
not heard.
can't do that anymore. They got to speak. So we got leaders in here who do the speaking for us. And Dawn and I, harder for her, because she has to step back and let them do the speaking, because they communicate with one another.
But to hear them today, to hear Brooklyn and Andrew talk about what it's like in the job market, the stresses of outside, trying to get a job and trying to excel in the field that you love, and maybe not working in a big box store to pay your bills, but to actually be able to practice the skills that you want to and that you're passionate about. The stresses that they're under that you don't hear, as Freddie said, you don't know your kids, what they're going through, it's so real. And I'm grateful for the opportunity that they were open enough with us in a work environment to share it, which means they must trust us enough in this space to share their feelings. So I'm really, really grateful for all of you for entrusting us with those feelings. And we got to work a little bit harder, you and I, to give them the space, which is why we're going to the beach on Friday. And yes, bathing suit attire and wear shorts and have fun, because it can't all be about business. It can't all be about work and paying bills. More than ever, everyone needs a place to reset and unwind. So you're all invited to help us reset and unwind as we go into our 11th year or more. Kind of relax.
To infinity and beyond.
Thank you guys so much for all of it.
That was Toy Story.
Yeah, no, thank you for bringing Kindness Matters in. They're great. I remember meeting them and Dito for the first time. They were great people.
I remember them coming to my community a couple months ago.
And you're different, Gordon, around other people than here. You opened up more. You really were engaged with her, which was fantastic.
Yeah.
Right? Freddie, you got to see Gordon open up a little bit, which was great.
It was about time.
Yeah.
It's funny, when you open up that lid, that can.
And Abdullah too.
You never know, you never know what's going to pop out of there. I tried to put Gato on the spot.
Yeah.
And
you remember
he
growing up,
responded.
the magic tricks, there was a can, you would stuff the snake down in it,
Yeah.
the wire snake, you open it up and like, pew, it went everywhere. You never know where it's going to go. That's funny. The impact of one thing. So thank you. Some more to come with Kindness Matters 365. If you want to get involved, check it out, km365.org. And I'm hoping that they will put a commercial piece together about the impact that they had on your life, and going forward, the impact that it will have on all of you going forward as we combine the Amp Media Futures Foundation and Kindness Matters and bring that out to you. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to wrap it up with the Woo Ladies. What's that mean? We'll be right back.
Looking for music that brings back the memories? True Oldies FLA is South Florida's premier destination for timeless hits from the 1960s, 70s, and 80s. Brought to you by M2 TV Network. Broadcasting across multiple FM and HD stations, including 95.3 FM in Delray Beach and Boca Raton, 95.9 FM in Palm Beach County, 96.9 FM in Broward County and North Miami-Dade, and 106.9 FM on the Treasure Coast. True Oldies, FLA. Feel good music that spans generations.
Imagine this. A loved one, a son or a daughter, has just suffered from a life-threatening accident. They're transported to a state trauma hospital, and despite being in the care of professional physicians, they tragically pass away due to preventable medical errors. As if this was not tragic enough, then finding out that legal statutes in the state of Florida devalue your loved one's life to zero. This is what we are fighting against. Come join Edward Salazar as he discusses the issues surrounding free kill laws and how to resolve them. Catch The Fight Against Free Kill Laws with Ed Salazar on Monday, 5 p.m. on all social media. Learn who we are and join our cause today.
RCCA has a team of specialized therapists to treat a wide array of injuries and conditions, including balance issues, back pain, fall prevention techniques, joint replacements, and stroke rehab. Our therapists at RCCA help adults reclaim their strength and flexibility, allowing them to return to their hobbies and sports. We tailor treatment to return our patients to activities they love, such as croquet, gym workouts, golf, pickleball, and tennis. Our state-of-the-art equipment and therapists ensure that there is something here for everyone.
Are you ready to win a brand new 2027 Audi A3? The Core Foundation, in conjunction with AMP Media Futures Foundation, is giving you the chance to drive away in luxury while supporting scholarships and community programs. First prize, a new 2027 Audi A3. Second prize, an American Electric Stellar bike. Third prize, a $250 Visa gift card. The drawing will be held Saturday, December 19th, 2026 at the Fort Lauderdale Marriott North, and you do not need to be present to win. Tickets are only $20. Purchase yours today at Ampy Media Production Studio or call 866-224-5422. That's 866-224-5422 or email mail to production@ampy2.tv.
I am an American veteran. I'm proud to have served this country. Helping veterans is something all Americans can participate in, and it's as simple as donating an old car that you have sitting around. When you call the Veteran Car Donation Program, they'll explain how their program works, and then arrange a time they can come and pick up your vehicle for free. Running or not, it doesn't matter. They take cars, trucks, motorcycles, or vans. As a veteran, show your support by donating your car and get a tax deduction in the process. Call the Veteran Card Donation Program right now. They'll come and pick your car up for free, and you'll get a tax deduction in the process. Call the number we're about to give you right now. Thank you, and God bless America.
800-378-3816. 800-378-3816. 800-378-3816. That's 800-378-3816. Proceeds support Heroes on the Water.
You've been watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
And we're back.
Oh, no, we're back.
And look, and I found the other Dawn on the other side of the commercial break. We multiply. Man, we just did so much for ratings, Freddie. What can I tell you? The snort, it always takes you right up. So we've been sitting here very doing our show for the past hour and a half, and Anne-Marie Skordy has been sitting there and not saying a word, very quietly. So I want to get your input on everything we've talked about, on impact, on kindness, on the crew. I guess I should ask you and the Angels for your message.
Fabulous. No, I think everything you're doing is so great. Honest to God, it's just so neat. I think to see the interaction, you know, the kids are freaking awesome. You know what I mean? And I love that you guys are bringing this vast array of people in here who, you know, are of all different walks of life, and the kids are digging it, you know? I mean, that's really cool. I don't have kids. I have no kids in my life, so I don't have any understanding of how they think or whatever. You know, you see them out there or whatever, but
out there being kids, just doing.
But no, I think it's really cool that you guys have created this safe space where you can just be yourself in here, you know, and there's no judgment, and I think that is a huge foundation for anybody who's moving forward, you know, especially in their realm. Like, you know, it's nuts out there, you know, and to have people who actually
accept and listen and give them tools to navigate the crazy world that they're in, I think it's awesome. That's
You
all I
know,
got to say.
it's funny. She says that when we were up at the art gallery, Dawn the Book met us up there. And you saw that environment was just nuts. We had people coming in and out, in and out, in and out. When we went to iHeart radio station, we had people coming in and out. I ran into, what's that little lady's name?
Dr.
Ruth.
Oh my God, Westheimer.
I knocked her down. She turned the corner. I turned the corner. I had equipment. She went down, and she cursed me out in German.
Oh, Lord Jesus.
But we always had people coming in and out. There was a pool table right outside the studio that we had. We had the Midday show up there. And ever since we started, it's always been the same recipe. People come in, they lay out their stories. Some have been really, really impactful. That one over there made me wait 7 years before she took her own show. And look how impactful that's turned around. Yeah. But it's always been that way. And I'm hearing your voices, I'm hearing what you're saying. And I look around, I never looked at the impact it had on the kids, which is really, maybe that's why Dana came into our life.
Yeah.
It's to light up that candle and says, yo, wake up. You know, I mean, 10 years doing anything ain't easy.
1,000%.
It ain't easy. I mean, you try doing something for 10 years. It ain't easy. And Dawn the Book is catching up. But the object of the aim, what you're saying is so impactful to me today. I guess maybe that's what today was meant to be. You know, so Friday when we go out on the beach and have some fun and let your hair down and bring your kids, bring whoever. Get some kids and bring them.
I've been running for 57 years. I'm not dragging those things now.
You can rent the kid. I'm hoping that Freddie shows up. That'd be a gift for
But
me.
you know what else I got to see this morning is I'm very, like I am. I'm very straight, magical, and all the things that I do. But I don't cross my verbiage line like Freddie does. But the way you present things, and I get to watch Jay respond to you, and I get to watch the way Heather responds to you, and I watch how now Sierra responds to you. There's that niche, and Andrew, of course, he's just like all over the place. But you resonate with them, with some of them so differently than with others, and it just shows you that it takes a village to meld with different personalities and different ways of being, because they work with you. They get you, and you get them, and they feel like you get them, which is incredible. And all your crazy and your chaos and all the funny things you say and all the four-letter words he uses, like noun, verb, and every other, you name it, part of language, he does it. But you get them, and you give them a safe space. And I got to watch that this morning when they were fist bumping you. I'm like, wow. I saw a lot this morning, and it was way more than the PowerPoint on the TV. If you just actually watch and listen, the kids will give you all the information that you need.
Oh, absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
And the angels, because you cleared everything out of here last weekend, Marie, so I thank you for that too.
I'm going to tell you, what a difference it makes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh my God.
I thought you guys all lost your mind. But then things started to break apart, wires started to all the old went out the door.
Yep.
Just like you said it was going to happen, it went out the door. Cars, her car also went out the door. Everything went out the door. But then after effect, it was just like, there's like a big change.
Yeah.
And you can still feel it today.
It's sparkly. It's sparkly clean.
It's really weird.
Clean as a whistle.
So we do have I guess an animation that Jamie put together. So you remember the Mr. Clean commercial we could put together for Anne Marie and the Angels.
Yes.
Like I clean it all.
Mr. Clean.
I can clean your space too. Anyway, so thank you, ladies, for all that you do. And Freddie, the way you do it, you just keep doing it.
Absolutely.
I have
10 more
no
years
idea what
plus.
you're talking about.
However you do what you
it from the
do,
heart.
you keep relating to these kids because no one can relate to them like you do. I mean, I can do the paperwork and the bills and all the stuff I do, but you get them.
It's a gift.
It is.
It's a gift.
It is a
And
gift.
people aren't going to understand it, and they don't have to. I see you. I see you
It's
seeing
like when
me,
you were
see
growing
you.
up, nobody understood you either.
Mm-hmm.
I guess you and I share we share that gift.
We did. Yeah, there's some similarity.
That's a gift.
Just like my sister Mimi.
All right, and
Put
today
some
we've got
lipstick on
Face
you.
Stories at 3 o'clock with Dawn DeMarco book, the other side of my stage up here.
The other Dawn.
You look fabulous today, by the way. I
Thank
told you that
you.
dress looks fantastic on
Thank
you.
you. I love this dress. It fits me better now since I lost a few pounds.
It looks incredible.
Shows the curves, that's for sure.
I just keep now a bag of donation in my closet. And I put it on. It doesn't fit. It goes in the bag. It is a working bag of donation.
Oh my God. I'd have nothing in my closet.
This is on the other side of the 55. It's just the working donation bag.
Girl, it
now.
gets worse, trust me.
Put it on in the donation bag. All right, who's your guest today? Or not?
Okay. I'm sorry. I have Dwight and Angelia Bell of Wings of Grace Ministry. Yes! I was afraid I was going to forget their ministry's name, and I kept looking at Dawn saying, Wings of Grace Ministry, Wings of Grace Ministry. And she looked at me, she goes, Wings of Grace Ministry.
You got this. Wings of Grace Ministry.
So you have to tune in today at 3 o'clock to learn more, but what they basically do is in the foster care, when kids hit 18, they're kicked out of the foster care system. How crazy is that? Could you imagine being 18 years old and having to go out on your own?
You can still be in high school too. And you still got to go.
Yeah.
And there's no money coming in. Yeah.
So they have a mentoring program, and they have homes for them. So it's really amazing. And I think they flew down here. I don't know if they have a airplane or a helicopter. I'm going to have to ask. It's funny because I met her at Palm Beach Ladies Fellowship. It's a Christian organization. And I went that one particular Friday. I was caught in a rainstorm, and by the time I got there, I was soaking wet. Got in there. I didn't even know what she did, but at the very end, I just went over to her and I said, I know if they invited you, I know you have an amazing ministry, so would you like to come on the show? And she said, yep, absolutely. So I'm excited to learn more about what they do.
Because people don't realize that even at the age of 18, all the money shuts down. Your health care shuts down, your stipends for school shuts down, you may have no place to live unless somebody is willing to take you. Because the funding for foster care shuts down. There's nothing. There's this huge gap, and they just cut these kids off at 18 years old. And it's really sad because they're still kids.
They're still
kids. At 18 years old.
No kidding.
And they need the support system.
Of course they do.
And they need all of it. So that's going to be a great show.
Yeah, it will be. You'll have to tune in at 3.
Tune in at 3 o'clock. Wings of Grace Ministry. All right, Freddie, we good? All right, Dana, and you've got your show tomorrow night on True Oldies Radio.
Yep.
What is the topic going to be?
The topic is finding your people. So we're going to talk about find your people. That's what we're talking about. Yeah, and just how when you do the work on yourself, you can connect with some really, really cool people because they are mirrors of your frequency. So
Find your tribe?
That's another one that gives me a little bit of the little diarrhea.
I never understood that.
I hate that term. No offense. No offense to you personally. But if you find your people, you find your group, you find yourself, and then you will find your people.
Okay.
People.
And your book is actually also available in audiobook on your website, which is the ubuntufishgallery.com.
Yep.
UBUNTU, fishgallery.com. So you can get the book, you can get the audiobook, you can join us here on Wednesday, first Wednesday in July, which I believe is July 1st.
Ooh, next Wednesday.
Right, it's next Wednesday already. Oh my God, that's crazy.
I know, right? Hello.
Wow.
It's flown.
Blink of an eye.
It has.
Flown.
July.
Months. So get your book and read fast because you got a week.
Ready, Christmas in July. Christmas in July?
Christmas in July.
Christmas in July.
I got the Santa suit.
Okay,
it's a little warm, so let's keep that away until it gets cooled up a little bit. All right, let's wrap this up. Have a great afternoon, everyone. Stay safe. Be kind to each other. Check out km365.org, kindnessmatters365.org. More to come on that. We're going to put a piece together. It's a new partnership between Amp Media Futures Foundation and Kindness Matters KM365. Tune into Faith Stories. Get your book. What is it called? Decoding the Woo-Woo. Part 2, ubuntufishgallery.com. And check out tomorrow night, Dana Sardano's show on True Oldies Radio at 7:30. So find your people. We'll see you tomorrow, 9 a.m. drive time. Bye-bye.
Well, that's about it for today. Even though the show's over, the Brooklyn Cafe is always open for business. You're invited to join the fun every day from 12 to 2. If you missed some of the laughs from today, Dawn and Freddie S. will bring you more good cheer next time. You can follow the Brooklyn Cafe on Facebook at the Brooklyn Cafe TV to rewatch every minute of the show. We'll see you next time.